What's up, everybody? In the last video, I discussed why debit cards are a big no-no for purchases. If you haven't seen it yet, you should go watch. It's kind of a companion to this one. It's the opposite side of this. Now, credit and credit cards is a topic that people can really get confused about. I'm not going to talk about credit, like your credit score or anything now. That's going to be in a different video. This one is going to be more about credit cards themselves. Now I get the question: why would I use credit when I have cash? Why can't I just use cash and that way I can stay out of debt? Right? I get that question all the time, and it's a fair question, but it's because you're not really taught how to use credit properly. In school or by your parents most of the time, because that's who you get your cues from. But my answer to that, to why to use credit, is mostly it's because using credit is superior in nearly every way, right? Unless you can't handle using credit responsibly in a smart way. Now, I'm not going to rehash all the differences because I covered them in the previous video, why you shouldn't use debit and why credit is superior. Because I basically touched on it a good chunk of that earlier in the earlier video. But I will say that the main reasons are building your credit history, which you can't do by paying by cash, check, money order. You cannot build your credit. And credit in this country is important because it helps you leverage to become successful if you use it correctly, right? There's good credit, bad credit, good debt, bad debt. I'm going to talk about that in a different video, but credit can help you succeed in this, and especially in this country, in the world really too, as we become more globalized. But it's very important that you have a good credit score, and you save that credit score for when you need it. Buying a business, creating a business, getting loans for businesses, whether it's in real estate, which is something that I'm dabbling in. But these things are very important because without credit, you're screwed. So if you can't handle a credit card, they're never going to give you $250,000 to buy a real estate property for investment. They're never going to let you borrow $250,000 to start your own business. That's just not going to happen. They see you can't handle a credit card with 10 grand on it. How are you going to handle $250,000? So that's an important reason, right? Important reason number 2 is purchase security when you buy stuff. If you buy anything and something goes wrong, you can remedy it better with a credit card than you can with your debit card. Cashback, which is my favorite reward, right? People will argue that some things are better. I like the cashback. Okay, that's personally, I like the cashback. Yes, some debit cards will give you cash back, right? But I like credit cards to give you cash back because if I cannot pay it for some reason, or if something happens to me, and I can't afford to pay my bills anymore, and I have to walk away from the credit card, it's just easier for me that way. But you also get way better cash back from credit cards than you do with debit cards. On average, anyway. And I'm not sure of every credit card or debit card on the planet. I researched a little bit of what's going on today. I've had the same cards for 20 years, but I digress. Now, those are the main reasons, right? And then, of course, the leveraging of the credit, which I talked about a minute ago. Now, everything all does start with actually what cards you have, what's in your wallet, right? As the commercial says. Why you have them, right? If you have a specific reason other than, I want credit card to buy lattes and expensive dinners and then take 3 months to pay it off because I'm an idiot. But why you have them and how you use them. Now, unlike when the first credit card appeared in 1958, I think it was around September or somewhere around there, Bank AmeriCard was what it was called. I know it sounds like it belonged to Bank of America, and I didn't write it down, and I should have, but I as I'm recording this, I think it had to do with Bank of America. But anyway, it was the first card ever, and it was the only one of its kind, a charge card. And then later they hooked up with, they made it so you can go eat dinner with it, Diners Club and all that. And then from there it blew up. Now there's literally hundreds and if not thousands of different cards that you can get. There's so many, in fact, that you can even narrow down cards to use for specific purposes, right? Oh, I mostly shop online. Oh, I like Amazon. Oh, Costco has their own card to earn points. Oh, so does this store and that store. And everybody's trying to get you there because then it creates loyalty, right? Oh, since I have this card, I'm going to go shop there first. They'll give you a little bit back, and that's how they get you. Well, I'm loyal to cash. So for me, that's why I choose the cashback cards, right? We'll get into that maybe in a little bit, the different kinds of cards. But at first, I'm just going to tell you what I carry and what I use and how I use them, because it's all experience that I do here on the Bear Forex channel. So this is from my experience. Now, the first card I'll talk about that I use is the American Express Blue Cash Card. Now, this card is no longer available, and if you want to search for it, just go to DuckDuckGo. Use that. Don't use Google or anything else. DuckDuckGo, they don't track you there. It's commonly now known as the American Express Old Blue Cash Card. It's not available anymore. You cannot get this card anymore. It's grandfathered in, and you're not allowed to get it anymore. They have a few that are sort of close to it. I'll talk about the best one that they have a little bit later. But anyway, now this specific card gives you 5% cash back. That's right, 5 on purchases made for gas, grocery, and the pharmacy, which is in my family what we mostly use it for. You get 1% on everything else. Now each year where your renewal happens, which for me is in August, you have to start over, and you have to spend $6,500 before you get that 5%. Now, for me, my family, and how we use it, that's literally a month or two. So, and the reason for that is because it's the only card I use for that initial month or two. I just pour everything in there because the 5% in the back end is worth it. Because usually at the end of the year, we get about $2,000, which isn't bad for buying stuff we're going to buy anyway, and I just use that specific card. So getting $2,000 back at the end of the year is not bad. And usually I hoard it. I don't use it unless I need something, right? Couple of new cell phones, a new computer, whatever, free. Because I already got, well, it's not free really, it's money I got back. But yeah, it's not free money, people. Sorry about that. And it is not free. Just like your taxes is not free money. That's money you already spent. Okay? That's not done. Sorry about that. Yeah, not free money. There's no such thing. Anyway, so yes, it gives you 5% cash back. Now, the next card I use is called the Bank of America Signature Visa Cash Rewards Card. Yeah, that's a mouthful. But they have that now. If you go to Bank of America, you can get it. And I like this card. Now, you only get 1%, okay? That's like the main, you only get 1%. But there's a caveat to that, and the draw to this card is that you get to pick one category. I'll go over the categories later, but you get one category where you can get 3% cash back on all purchases, right? And for me, I picked online. So that means I have this for my Amazon and basically any other purchase that's online, except like government websites, and certain other ones are excluded. So like you can't register your car online. You can't buy stamps or postage with it. You can, but you only get 1%, not the 3%. But other than that, pretty much any other store, as long as it's a commercial website, you'll be able to do that. A caveat is that, well, not a caveat. I don't know why I like that word. A side note, we'll just say, if you have a cashback card that lets you get anything over 2% at grocery, which I'll mention a few cards a little bit later that do. I think it's 3%. You can buy your stamps at the grocery store. Like if I go to whatever, Safeway, Albertsons, or whatever, and they sell them there, you can buy it there because it doesn't differentiate. It just tells you how much you spent at that store. So you can go and you can spend, like, you can buy gift cards or anything you want at those stores and still get the between 3 and 5%, whatever they give you back. Because The credit card company can't differentiate what you're buying. They don't know. They just know what the total is. See what I mean? So you can literally go buy a cash card and get cash for 5%. You get what I'm saying? You can actually get a discount. So see the way I think? I'll talk about that later. That's another topic on how to use your credit card to get free cash back or free cash advances. The credit card companies, I have no idea. Anyway, now the next card I use is wait, did I say everything I wanted to say on that? I think I did. Yeah. Anyway, so the next card, the last card I use is one of the more popular cards from what I understand because it seems to be everywhere, is called the Citibank Double Cashback Card. Now, Citibank Double Cashback Card basically gives you 2% flat no matter what you buy, anytime, anywhere, doesn't matter, right? The trick to it is that you get 1% as you buy things and then 1% as you pay it off. Now, if you heed my advice and you just pay it in full each month, then basically, yes, you get 2% cash back no matter what you spend, right? For me and my family, we get between $500 and $600 a year on that card. And the Visa Signature card, we get like about $250 or so, but that's really because it's so specialized, right? Like I literally only use that card 99% of the time at Costco and at like to go, basically at Costco or online. That's it. As I don't use it for shopping because I get 5% for American Express. So literally at Costco, I get 2%, and then online I get 3%, and that's all I use it for. With the exception, of course, which I'll talk about in a second. But so all in all, we get about $2,500 to $3,000 a year. Me and my family, that's what we get, and we can use it for whatever we want because it's cash. See, that's why I like it more than the points. Right now, I never had a points card before that I owned. I've read about them, and I've like some friends have let me like log into their accounts and to see what they offer and for how much, and I actually did that this week to kind of get an idea of what it is, how much they're worth, the points, mind you. And from what I understand, now this doesn't include like the 60,000, we'll give you 60,000 point bonus, 50,000 point bonus. Beyond that, years later, when all that hoopla is over, on average, you get between 1 and 1.5%, which is like 1 to 1.5 cent per dollar that you spend on most of the staple stuff that everyone uses every day. A lot of these cards, especially the ultra specialized ones like the Costco cards or the Amazon cards, they'll give you 3, 4, 5% only on stuff that you buy on Amazon and only in certain categories. The Hilton cards, they'll give you 4 or 5% back on flights and hotel stays, but I mean, your everyday stuff, you're not getting anything but 1 times, maybe 2 times at restaurants, right? So basically, you're going to have to spend about $200,000 to $300,000 on average to get the same amount of money that I get back, right? Again, I'm not toting it. You guys aren't going to be able to get this card, but you can get something close. The point of it is not that I get 5% cash back. The point of it is I get cash back on the stuff I use the most. Not something I use once in a while, not saving for a plane ticket. It's something I use it for everything I use every day. I have 3 cards that fit into every category. It took a while to figure it out, but I got it. Now, if you can get a card that helps you to save 2 or 3% every single time you buy something that you're going to go buy anyway, and then at the end of the year, there's a bunch of cash sitting in your account, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,000, $2,000, right? Depends on how much you spend. And it's cash. You can do whatever you want with it. You don't have to buy airplane tickets. You don't have to, right? And then there's no such thing as blackout dates or nothing when it's cash because you can just buy it with cash and do whatever you want. That's why I like the cashback cards. Okay, because I can tell you now, I do not spend anywhere near $200,000 to $300,000 to get my $3,000. Right now, a quick note: I do sometimes use the card, not for maximum cashback, but because it has like an added service, and not every card has everything. But like for example, I bought a beautiful Sony uh, LCD flat screen 4K TV. They're so cheap now, it's ridiculous. But I bought a new one because my old one conked out on me after like 11 years. But I found the best deal, which I searched all over the place to find the best deal. And I found a website that sells the exact TV. It's reputable. They don't charge tax. And I bought it from there. Now, I used my Bank AmeriCard, right? The Cash Visa card. I got lucky that the deal was online, so I get the 3% back. But my card, that card, offers an additional 1 year warranty after the manufacturer warranty, which in this case is a year. So by just using my card, I now have a 2 year warranty, right? Double the warranty. I would have still used my card, that card, even if the cash back wasn't as high, just because to me it's worth it. It's worth the extra year of protection. Now, why cashback cards? I talked about that already because, in my opinion, it's the best since you can spend cash on anything, right? Absolutely anything. Whatever you want. There's no limit to what you can spend cash on, right? And please don't tell me, oh, but the cash is on the credit card. Please don't give me that dumb excuse. It's money that you don't have to spend. If you put $2,000 of credit on your credit card, that's $2,000 you don't have to spend from your bank account. That's cash. Yes, believe it or not, some idiot asked me how do they get cash if it's on their credit card. Oh my God. Anyway, before you guys say anything, I know that a majority of the cash back that I'm talking about is from a card that is no longer available. That's not my problem. Again, I'm telling you, there's other cards out there that may not be as good, but also that's what I spend money on. You can find a card on what you spend most of your money on. That's the most important thing. Go over your statements. Where do you spend the most money? Find credit cards that cater to that give you the most on what you spend all the time. Okay? That's the most important thing to do. You're never going to get the 5% card. That card is gone. All right? Maybe in the future one will come out, but that's not happening. Okay? Find something that works for you and how you spend. If points convert to cash, which some cards do, usually in the form of like a Visa debit card or something, then that's fine. But otherwise, try to stay away from points cards unless you can get 3% or more in the categories that you spend the most. All right? Otherwise, the best cards for straight cash back in the U.S. at the time of this recording, in my opinion, is one, the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card. Now, it's not the same as mine, and it also carries an annual fee of $95. However, you do get 6% cash back at supermarkets and streaming services, and I saw the list of streaming services, and it's basically everything. Hulu, Amazon, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Disney Plus, everything. I couldn't find anything on there that I didn't already know about. So basically it covers everything. The website says certain, but trust me, you have it. It's fine. So that's actually good. It's not, if you have multiple streaming services like we do here, we don't have cable. I'm not going to pay cable, but we have everything else. We have Netflix, but T-Mobile pays for that for me. I pay $2 a month for mine because T-Mobile covers it. But we have Hulu, we have Amazon Prime, and we have Disney Plus. So, if you had all those, you would get 6% cash back, and then 6% back at supermarkets. And then you get 3% cash back on all kinds of travel stuff. So by travel, I should actually mean transit. So like cabs, Uber, Lyft, buses, and other transit. And then you also get 3% cash back at gas stations. But it has to be like a national brand. So something like Chevron, Shell, Valero, Texaco, wherever you live, most likely it's going to be a brand or one of their sub brands. And it works in all those places. So I like that one. You get 1% everywhere else. But in combination with like the Bank of America Cash Rewards card, right, which is next on my list, and I carry it. It beats out Citibank only because you get to choose that one category for 3%. Oh, that's right, the categories. So it was, let me see, I wrote it down here. It is, you get to pick 3% cash back for gas, online shopping, dining, travel, drugstores, home improvement, and furnishings. And you can switch them month to month, but you have to wait that month. So, like let's say in January you have gas, you can change it in January, but you have to wait till February or one whole month before you can change the category to the next one. But you can. So if you know you're going to be doing some shopping or some traveling, then you can change it. That's really good, actually. So that's another thing you guys can think about. Available to Americans only. Sorry for my international people, if there are any. So then the last one, and then the Bank of America card, you also get 2% back at grocery stores and wholesale clubs, like I said, at Costco, Sam's Club if you have them, and then 1% on everything else. Now, something else at Bank of America, if you have a rather large account with them, or if you have like an investment account, or if you have savings accounts, which you shouldn't because they're the worst in the world when it comes to savings, like how much you get, 0.001%. Get the hell out of here. But anyway, if you have more than $20,000 with them in the bank, they start giving you bonuses. I don't suggest you keep any kind of cash like that in Bank of America. Of course, as of this recording, the national average is just shy of 1%. So at this point, who cares, right? You're not making any money on your savings. It's literally there so you don't go poor. But the last one is that Citibank Double Cash card. That's 2% for everything all the time. It's a decent card because it's double what most other cards offer you on stuff that's not in their categories. So I think it's a good idea. I like it. It doesn't have some of the bells and whistles and security that the other cards have. They did for a while, but they canceled it. Like the extra warranty is not there anymore. So that kind of sucks. But again, I use it for the cash back, and if I'm going to make a major purchase, I'll use a different card to get the security perks, because those are like one-time purchases. So to me, it's worth it. Now, for those of you living outside of the U.S., you will need to research on your own for the best deals. I tried to do some research. I started with the U.K., and I don't know. Maybe you guys don't like cashback cards, or they're not popular there, because the only one I found was by Barclays, and they gave you 0.25% cash back on your purchases. That was funny. Most of it looks like they give you discounts on interest, and you can purchase for 90 days or 6 months with no interest, which is a trap. Don't ever do that. Always pay in full on each month. But anyways, just make sure whatever you guys get, that you get maximize your return on the categories you realistically spend on. So realistically, what you do on a regular basis, try to get between 2 to 3% or higher, but 2 to 3% on most of your categories. And assume you will pay in full each month. Okay, which is what I'm going to talk about now. But first, the above credit cards do require better than average credit, and if your score sucks, you will need to build it back up. That topic will be in a future video. Now, when using your credit card, what I'm about to say is going to raise some eyebrows, but that's their issue. In my opinion, you should use your credit card for every single purchase that allows credit card payments. Yup. All of them. Any and all. Even gum. Rick, you're crazy. I'll be buried in debt, and interest payments coming through my eyes. Wrong. Very, very wrong. Let me tell you how I do it, and maybe it can inspire you to get there. Now, the bills that I cannot pay with credit cards are gas or nat gas, right? Natural gas, electricity, garbage, water, and my rent. Yes, I still rent because I'll talk about that in a future video on real estate and why you should not live in a home that doesn't make you any money. Renting is easier on your wallet than buying, and we'll talk about that later. We'll get into real estate later. Just trust me on that. Now, everything else I put on my credit card. Nope, I don't have any car payments. I pay cash for cars. There's a later video on that. I'll explain why you should do it in reverse. And if anybody already knows what I'm saying, then you're smarter than a lot of people, and you're going to enjoy this channel. Now, each month, what I do is I average the last 3 months of those bills. And then I add a 20% buffer to each one, just in case, right? Crazy things happen. Oh, water leak. Oh, I fell asleep with the TV on for the whole month. Whatever. You add a 20% buffer. That's stuff I know I cannot pay with credit cards. So anything above that is what I can comfortably spend on my credit card each month and know I can pay it off right away. Simple. For example, if my average bills come up to $1,000, right? Well, let's just say $3,000 with rent, right? We'll just say $3,000 is the average. I can't pay those with a credit card. I get $5,000 in my bank account as an example, right? So that $3,000 plus 20% is $3,600. So that means whatever I want to spend, I can spend $1,400 on my credit card each month and comfortably be able to pay that. No problem, because I know I got $5,000, $3,600 is already accounted for, $1,400 is left. Have a little notebook and write it down if you have to. Okay? It's easy. It's not that difficult. You just got to do it the other way. Never use your debit card to spend the money. If you're spending money on your debit card, that's money you're taking out of yourself. You're losing any cash back or anything like that. It's all gone now because you're using your debit card. See? So if you can't afford something in that month that you really want, too bad. You're supposed to be a grown-up, so act like it. If you really want it, you have two choices. You can go make more money, or you can save it so you can afford to do it. But Rick, my income is not the same each month. What do? You do the same thing. Those bills need to get paid. Your rent, your food, your utilities, those all need to get paid. If you don't have enough cash each month to cover the basics of life, you have no business having a credit card. You need to get more cash each month. So think about downsizing, moving in with different people, or even moving back home with mom. There's no shame in it if you're trying to build yourself back up. Okay, this has gone longer than I wanted, so I had enough. If you have any questions about this topic, you can ask me on Twitter, or if you want to touch on a more personal level and don't want to spill your guts out on the net, which I don't blame you, shoot me an email at bearforextrading@gmail.com. If you signed up for Bear Essentials at Patreon, feel free to give me a call at the posted number. I'll get back to you if I don't answer right away. All right, kiddies, it's time to go. Tune in next time when I will start my indicator series. And we can start with the mother of all, the most used indicator, the humble moving average. Until next time,